Your salary hits. Your brain shifts into a completely different decision mode. Not your mood, your actual reward system. And research suggests this shift is why most of that money moves before you consciously plan anything. Studies in behavioral economics consistently show that discretionary spending spikes immediately after payday, not because people plan to overspend, because the brain is responding to a chemical contrast, not a budget. Most people believe this is a discipline problem. They think, if I tracked better, if I tried harder, I would save first. That belief feels responsible. It feels logical. It is the wrong frame entirely. Willpower is a prefrontal cortex function, but your emotional brain reacts first, and your rational brain explains later. By the time conscious reasoning engages, the spending impulse is already active. Here is what is likely happening. Your brain spends roughly 25 to 30 days in a low-grade scarcity state. Financial pressure activates stress pathways. Cortisol rises. Threat detection stays elevated. When the salary lands, that stress drops sharply. The brain's reward system responds to that contrast with a dopamine release. This is not motivation. This is pressure relief. And pressure relief in the brain is resolved through action. That action is spending. Each purchase in this window generates a second reward signal. This is the same behavioral loop observed in compulsive consumption patterns. It is not a character flaw. It is the reward system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Now think about what this costs over time. If a few £100 per month leave the account in this window, unplanned, unbudgeted, that compounds significantly over years. Money that never reaches savings or investment does not just disappear. It represents years of lost compounding, quietly every month. Here is where the pattern locks in. 3 to 4 days after payday, a guilt response typically follows. The brain labels the spending as a failure. Cortisol rises again. That's why you promise yourself you'll save this month and still end up broke by week 3. The scarcity state returns, often worse than before, because the account is lower and the psychological weight is heavier. The brain has now reinforced one loop. Money arrives, pressure releases, guilt follows, scarcity returns. Every month, that loop becomes more automatic. There is a second layer most people never consider. The reward state after payday does not just drive spending, it distorts financial perception. Research on optimism bias suggests that people in positive reward states consistently underestimate future costs. This is likely why financial commitments made on payday, subscriptions, installment plans, new credit, feel sustainable in the moment. By week 3, cortisol is elevated again. The logic is gone. The commitment remains. The loop has 3 structural weak points. Block your ability to spend for 48 hours after payday. The reward spike observed in this pattern typically resolves within 1 to 2 days. Spending decisions made after that window come from a neurologically different state. This is not discipline, it is timing the biology. Second, automate a savings transfer within the first hour of salary arrival. The brain cannot enter a spending loop around money it never perceives as available.
This directly interrupts the contrast effect before it activates. Third, separate accounts for fixed costs and variable spending. The brain's threat detection system responds to visible balance drops as potential danger. One count means every transaction feels like a survival event. Separated accounts reduce that cortisol response and weaken the guilt cycle. The brain was not built for monthly salary cycles. It was built for immediate resource consumption under scarcity. Payday does not change your intentions. It changes your neurochemistry, and your intentions follow. If your spending always peaks in the first few days of the month, the loop is already automated. The question is not whether it is happening. The question is how many months it has been running undetected. This video is for educational purposes only.